John Leone is down on the sidelines. He's got a Lafayette graduate from the class of 2006. Pretty tough football player, but maybe life was a little bit tougher for a while. Here's John Leone with Dave Nelson.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks, Michael. You know, it's not often that a player who graduated within the last 10 years has a Valor Award named for him, especially when he or she is still among us. That's exactly the case with David Nelson. And before we get to the story behind the award, let's introduce you to him. For those of you who may not remember David, class of 06. David, you were an H-back, you were a halfback, you were a tailback. You just did just about everything as a Lafayette Leopard. Welcome to the Lafayette Sports Network.
Thanks, guys. Shout out to Leopards Nation. Glad to be here.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's such an interesting story, David. It actually happened the summer going into your senior year. And take us through the events. You were actually the victim of a violent attack.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. It did happen about 11 years ago almost at this point, and it seems like ancient history, but the amazing piece of it is the aftermath, actually. You know, the occurrence of it is unfortunate, but I had a lot of supporting people around me, and just a stroke of luck, really, that allowed me to return to health and get back to playing football. The night itself was just your typical night, right? And we talked a little bit about this last night with the guys. You know, I was out there looking after one of my buddies, and some guy, unfortunately, had different interests in mind, and guy we didn't know, and unfortunately I was attacked in that scenario. But it all goes back to brotherhood and looking out for your guys, and you hope that doesn't happen, of course. But really, it's the aftermath where I think the story emerges.
You know, it happened, David. You were out, you were trying to intercede and help a friend, and actually took a stab wound very near, or did it actually penetrate the heart?
It penetrated the heart. Actually, they had by the time I had arrived at the hospital, I was essentially dead. I was clinically dead. And they had ripped open my chest, and a nurse put her finger in the hole of my heart and pumped my heart back to beating. So I know it sounds kind of like an unrealistic and really unfathomable story, but it took place, and I'm here and I'm breathing. And actually, a week after the fact, I was at my brother's wedding dancing. So it's kind of just a stroke of luck. It was really a miracle that I came out healthy. It
was, David, and we followed it. When word of that reached campus, everybody just gathered together. You were in everybody's thoughts and prayers. What was remarkable, and my wife is an RN, and believe me, I live with that stuff every day. Yeah. When I heard the part of the story where the nurse literally, I guess, plugged the hole in your heart.
Literally took her finger, plugged the hole, massaged my heart back to beating, and then put a catheter in the hole to stop it from bleeding, and then I went into emergency surgery where the surgeon came in and actually sewed the heart back up. It was a centimeter gash, and it was basically a millimeter left or right of an artery. So if it had hit the artery, I wouldn't be talking to you right now.
Amazing. Life is a game of inches, I suppose, too. They talk about sports being that way. David, what occurred to me, I asked you this question previously. I wanted to know the answer before I asked you, but the contact with that person, with that nurse, I guess you stayed in touch for a little while after that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, life is also a series of people, right? It's a supporting cast that pushes you forward, right? Nothing's achieved by yourself, and you know, obviously I had people looking out for me that day. I had, guardian angels looking over me, and it happened to work out. When I hear about the award at school, it's not about me or my name or the story. It's about guys like Maxim Noy, who won the award last year. It's about the characteristics and traits that we want in our football players that, I'm glad I was able to display those for people. But that's, the game of life, right? It's just those traits that you can hope that, you look out for your buddies and your brothers, and they look out for you, and ultimately you have good outcomes.
David, in my day job, I'm a major gift officer, and I love it when people make big gifts to the college. But yeah. I think your story probably states this more clearly than any other story, and that is there are all kinds of ways to give back. Yeah. And then being the victim of that circumstance, and then working so hard. Take us through a little bit of the rehab and the goal you set for yourself. Did you ever think that you could actually play football that same season?
You know what? Not for a second did I not think I couldn't play, if that grammatically makes sense.
Perfect.
Not for a moment. The second I woke up, I said, I'm getting back to football. So I think that's a part of life as well, is you just got to say, listen, this is a circumstance. If I physically can't play, then I won't. But if I can, I'm going to. And the doctor said, man, you're kind of nuts, but your heart's fine if you want to play. I'm like, I'm good, let's go. So I think life's a game of getting back up again too.
The heart is more than a muscle. David, we learned that you shared the message with the team last night. Do you mind letting us know what that message was?
Obviously there's that award. I kind of detracted from that, to be honest. My message to guys is pretty simple. The score is the outcome, right? Right now it's 17-0. My message to the guys is winning is a mindset, right? So whether it was getting back up after that accident, whether it's, when I graduated college, I actually lost my older brother to cancer. There's a lot of different scenarios in life where if you just do the right blocking and tackling and you do the winning in the moment, the outcome is going to be favorable. So that was my message to the guys, right, is don't worry about the score, worry about winning in the moment, and I hope it resonates.
Well, it sure does, David. There's no question about that. Very quickly, while we have a moment, you're also a pretty good poster boy for the liberal arts education. Yep. You're in technology now. You moved back up to the Boston area after originally being from Chicago. You were a sociology major. How do you connect the dots?
This sounds really cliche, but business is about people. Sociology is the study of people. So it happened to actually work out where I really am interested in the human dynamic. And the human dynamic is what drives everything. It drives innovation, it drives technology, it drives business. And if you can master the human dynamic in your working environment, you'll be successful. What drives humans, right? What motivates us? So it kind of worked in my advantage. A lot of times people are business majors. I love business. I'm in business now. But the liberal arts education is such a valuable degree that's broad and allows you to be thoughtful and communicative. So.
Well, you are absolutely the poster child for that, David. Congratulations on not only a terrific comeback, but for giving back to Lafayette in so many ways. And congratulations on a terrific career so far. Awesome. Many more to come.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Gary, Michael, back to you guys.